Welcome to Off the Bench. I'm Brian Milam, and today we're at Lafayette High School to speak with Tess Nelson, junior basketball player for the Lady Generals, who also plays a different kind of string music, and we'll talk about that on Everyday Kentucky. All right, Tess, tell me about basketball. You've played for a long time. You've got some hype to you, so tell me how you got into it and the best part about basketball for you.
Well, I started at a very young age. I have 3 older siblings, so I just was getting blocked by them in the backyard.
Yeah, it happens.
And I started in rec leagues when I was kindergarten and just have been playing ever since. By far, my favorite part of being on the team is my teammates. They're just so amazing and so supportive, and getting to spend, we spend a lot of time with basketball teammates, so just getting the group that we have is amazing.
Your best part of your game is what?
For me, I love shooting. That's what I work on in the off season the most. I like just 100 shots a day, try to get that kind of thing. So yeah, shooting is definitely.
We talked about being tough and strong. Coach Denton brings that, so I'm sure she makes you all bring it too, right?
Yeah, moving from the middle school level to the high school level was a big jump.
Guaranteed.
But she has really improved my game, and I'm really thankful.
You've had a lot of string music on the court, but off the court as well. Tell me about your violin playing.
Well, I started when I was in 4th grade, and the teachers that I've had ever since have exposed me to classical music and fiddle music, so more bluegrass type styles. So I've kind of gotten to find where I'm most comfortable. I think I really enjoy fiddle music a lot. I've had a lot of fun with that, so being kind of in the heart of the bluegrass is kind of a treat, right in the middle of all of it.
Well, for some of you Alabama fans, if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band. Well, in this case, it's more of a classic violinist and fiddle playing. Tell me some of those that maybe inspired you to take that route with that instrument.
For violin?
Yeah.
Well, I had already been I'd been exposed to music. I'd played piano for 3 years prior to starting violin. So I went to a concert and I saw a violin and I was like, I want to play that thing. So I started in school and I started in lessons, and I've just kind of been able to find whatever path is most comfortable ever since then.
You know, we talk pressure a lot in sports, but how much pressure is there when you're playing, knowing you've got to hit the notes right, your timing has to be right?
Well, I think with violin, especially for me, I do a lot more orchestral stuff than I do kind of solo competitions.
Yeah.
So the pressure's kind of off in that sense, but it's also it's a team thing with orchestra as well as basketball. So everyone's just kind of working together to get to the right place, but the pressure isn't maybe quite as significant with violin because it's everyone's just, there's a common goal and there's no defense. And the last thing, what's the next step if you take violin to another level? What is that next step for you at this time next year when you're thinking about college or the next phase in life? Well, I think I would be interested in maybe doing some bluegrass competitions if and maybe classical competitions, but probably more fiddle, but just kind of finding chamber groups, still applying for different orchestras and stuff, so that's kind of where I'm looking at for violin. That is Tess Nelson with Lafayette High School. That will do it for this edition of Off the Bench on Everyday Kentucky.
Off the Bench is brought to you by Breaking Trail Beef Jerky. Discover your trail.